Hi, my name is Vida. I'm your host today. I'm life coach, but I only work with disadvantaged people. This is my life purpose. What is yours? This is my second video in communication. If you have not seen my first video in communication part 1, I urge you, please stop right here. Go back to my YouTube channel, look at first part of communication, and come back and see this one. Otherwise, if you're just gonna look this one, it's not gonna make so much sense. However, in first video, we have learned communication is a basic relationship between two people. We have three important facts to make effective communication. The very first fact is your emotional response. You have attraction, you have affection, love, like, and they all has to be a positive emotion. The second fact is your reality. What is reality? Reality is the truth, is a fact, is your state of mind, is something you're agreeing to talking to the person you're involved with communication. If reality is so important, without having the same agreement, there is no communication. When you have reality and you have a positive emotion, that's the time you can talk and listen. Talking and listening, they're both important in communication. These three elements are interdependent on each other. If you interrupt one, you interrupt the flow of the circle of life balance, which communication is in a circle of life balance. And if you want to improve your relationship, you just need to work on one side of this circle. You improve your reality, the affection goes up, and the communication will happen. Communication cannot be painful. It should be necessary data to be sent and received, all in positive emotion. In all your relationship with the people you're emotionally involved, like your parents, your spouse, your kids, your sibling, your friend, and you have in all and some the same reality, the same interest, and you have everything in common, but somehow you find yourself in one or two or three people in that group you cannot communicate with. And you're always wondering why I cannot talk to my husband, and why I have difficulty talking to my sister. Why in earth I cannot communicate with my kids? At that point, look for third party. A third person is a hidden in your relationship and communication with the same person. We have many kind of third party in our life. In our working environment, in our social life, in our family life, is a third party exists. Seemingly looks like supportive, but somehow it's create a conflict. And they're all innocent. The third party usually innocently exists in your relationship and your communication. This is my 3 years research after my divorce. 15 years of marriage, not even 15 minutes of communication. After my divorce, I have decided to find out why two people, they are emotionally involved and they have everything in common, but they cannot talk and listen to each other. My ex-husband had a beautiful relationship with his mother. They talk about everything. They could talk day and night, and there was nothing wrong with that. They had the same reality, and of course, love was there. And there were very strong communication between them. One of the subjects, of course, it was me. How's your wife doing? Is she okay? Is she fine? And they're all innocent question. Is nothing wrong with that. The only disadvantage in this situation, my ex-husband, instead talking to me, he always talking about me. And because of this situation, I have lost the reality between me and my ex-husband. It was my reality with my ex-husband has been over with his reality with his mother. My reality was disappear, is gone. Here's another example. I have a sister which I love her very much so, but we are not in communication. And I always wonder why my sister and I cannot communicate with each other. And this is the story goes. For years and years and years, anytime when I was calling my mother, I was asking about her. How's she doing? Is she okay? Is she fine? My mother was source of information to make sure my sister is okay. She was doing the same thing. Anytime when she wanted to find out about me, she was asking our mother, how's she doing? Is she okay? And what happened is, here's my mother. Here's my mother. Here's me, and here's my sister. And our reality, our reality has been disappeared. Because we, instead talking to each other, talking to our mother. And our reality is with going underneath of each other. And we lost the reality. And when there is one side of this circle disappear, the other two will drop. There was no communication. Is the love and affection is there, but talking and listening has been disappeared. Have you ever experienced a serious conflict goes on and on, even though after a main point has been addressed, still conflict goes on? Look for a person, not a reason. It must be a third person present in that conflict to produce that conflict. Always look for a person, not a reason. Believe it or not, sometimes you might be a third person in somebody's conflict. Seemingly, we give a support to the friend, to the co-worker, to the family member, but innocently, we produce that conflict. It is so common, we believe it takes two people to make a fight. In reality, is third person develop that conflict. If you are in any relationship or any communication, and sometimes you have no idea, you cannot improve that conflict or that communication, look for third person. Third person must be present to produce that conflict. However, I can talk about communication for another 2 days, but I'm going to stop right here because I do not want to make that video so long. But I'll be back next month with the different subject. Until then, have a wonderful month.